I'm not even about to lie to y'all, man. The first thing I gotta talk about today in the Afterthoughts. Yo. The heart eyes right now are directed at Black Maria, son. Your boy cannot deny. Son, there's just something about the way that she looks in this color spread where, the love emoji. You know what I mean? Like, whoa! So, man, the closer we get to that, to the continuation of her fight with Robin, the happier we're gonna be. The happier we're gonna be because, man, the hard eyes like, what the? But that aside, we're in awesome colors, ladies and gentlemen. Filled with so much life and so many awesome, vibrant colors. I love Ulti's colors. Ulti's entire like color palette for the design is super dope. I think it was Sasaki. You know what I mean? Just everyone's looking super cool. Who's who? Just the fact that it's that red color scheme. I know we've seen almost all of these on the volume cover for I believe that's volume 97. But just seeing it on here and like all of them together like this, and instead of it just being within that little square, it them like showing a majority of their designs here. It looks super dope. My boy King, just look at King. You know, you want to know what he's looking like this? Because he was this close from getting kneed. And yo, I did not even notice when I was initially reading the chapter that Marco came in and hit this man with a Shinsuke Nakamura Bomaye, man. I mean, yo, he came in there. I forgot what it's called in what was the name of the move in NXT? I forgot, but I remember the name of the move in New Japan. The Bomaye, man. Dude came in with a flying knee. Talo, and the knee hit him so hard, it sent him flying through multiple different things. So I'm telling you, man's hit him with the edge spear, a Hadoken, a sweet chin music, and then proceeded to go in with a Bomaye. And that was on both King and Queen. So they were receiving it all, bro. They were receiving all types of wrestling moves. Such an awesome chapter, man. The more I thought about this week's chapter from an action standpoint, and then from a standpoint when it comes to the characters, the more excited I got, man. The more excited I got. And shout out to all the wonderful comments this week. I saw a lot of comments talking about the Sanji situation because that was definitely something that I was thinking about a lot when it comes to what's going to happen here with Sanji. That's been something that's been on my mind quite a bit ever since the most recent chapter, because he went to go head off, and now that he has that in the back of his mind, like, yo, Robin took the responsibility of taking on Black Maria for me. And now I'm going to go head off and do what I can do, you know, the thing that I know for a fact I can do. And so there's so many things that Sanji can do. You know, he's a very valuable individual, you know, for gaining information as a fighter, whatever the case may be. He can be an extremely valuable asset to the current Onigashima War. And so I saw so many comments that were in agreement with what I was saying at the end of the reaction, where we were talking about the awesome possibility of him doing both. Of him going first to Yamato. And for me, you know, as a person who loves the comedic side of Sanji, I need that interaction. I need the interaction of, number one, him seeing Yamato, and number two, him finding out where Momonosuke is at this current point in time. I need that so badly. So badly. So knowing how much Oda also loves the comedic side of the Sanji situation, that is almost guaranteed to take place if he really is going to both, which at this point, I'm almost 100% guaranteed that he's going to go to both sides. I mean, it's Sanji. He has the speed. He's Mr. Prince. The dude can be in one place and pop up in the other. Listen, man, that's my boy. So I'm hyped. I really can't wait to see what takes place there with Sanji. So it looks like he's going to be going off and heading towards Momonosuke, Yamato, and Shinobu, meet up, have an interaction with them, and then whatever happens there, right? Whatever takes place there, whether he sees that Yamato is strong enough in order to handle the situation at hand, whether he bodies whoever it is that's there and then takes off on his own to go take care of what's taking place with the Silhouette and Kinemon and the others, thus meeting with Jack and with King and Queen, and where everybody is there, thus causing a 2v3 between Jack, King, and Queen, versus Marco and Sanji. And we're talking a king, queen, and jack, all in hybrid form, against Stealth Black Sanji and Marco. Bro, do you know, dog, those chapters, the amount of hype coming out of this, because we know now, after this chapter, Marco can hold his own against both. Marco is bodying, but he is dominating against both king and queen, all right? Granted, they're not at their full strength because they're not in hybrid form yet, but still, the fact that he's going ham against two Yonko Commander level individuals is enough hype in and of itself, all right? And so with Stealth Black Sanji going up in like somewhere as well, that's a 2v3. That is not only a 2v3, that's a nasty 2v3. And so if that ends up happening to where he goes off, has that awesome moment with Yamato, Momonosuke, and Shinobu, or whatever happens there, like I said, whether he one-shots or destroys whatever is happening there on his Mr. Prince stuff, or Yamato takes care of whatever's going to be going in there, or Yamato follows Sanji, and it becomes a 3v3. Can you imagine that? A 3v3? So then it becomes King, Queen, and Jack versus Sanji, Marco, and Yamato. And then we have yet to see exactly what Yamato's Zoan is. I've seen a lot of speculation that it could be the White Tiger, and a couple of, what was the other one? It was like White Tiger, there was like a certain dragon that was also theorized as well. But I guess we could talk about that in a future date. The main point here is that is also a possibility as well. That Yamato ends up following Sanji back over. So he's like, you know what? I'll take them under my wing. We'll go up in like somewhere. Because, you know, for a fact, I mean, unless, like I said, it gets to the point where Yamato has to stop and take on someone at that point in time, then Sanji's gonna be like, yo, let's do this together. So that's also a possibility in and of itself. Either they split off, you know, Yamato goes and gets her 1v1 or her battle, whatever, or Momonosuke's battle, because at this point, we have no idea. I mean, I'm going to assume next time that we see Orochi, it's going to be with either Hiyori or Momonosuke. But Momonosuke right now is hiding, and I'm sure he's probably not going to come out of hiding for a while. And so, with that being said, unless Yamato finds someone worthy of staying behind for and taking on, then a massive possibility could be that instead of Sanji splitting off from them and then going back on his own, he could very well take them with him. And then it becomes a 3v3. And if it becomes a 3v3, that will be the Survivor Series matchup of a lifetime. All right, that would be so much fun to experience. 3 hybrid forms. Ooh, of King, Queen, and Jack against Stealth Black, Sanji, Marco, and Yamato, son. Now, it's out there, I understand. I'm sure that Yamato, more than likely, I mean, just based on the importance of her character to the overall story and whatnot, if the battle does take place against, just say, Jack, for example, then it might take place in a more secure location, or I should say, in a more one-off location, to where the battle can be real personal, you know, real one-on-one. But at the same time, if it does end up being out there in the open, I'll take it. I'll take it. And so I wanted to present those two possibilities and see what y'all are thinking about when it comes to that thing, because I'm genuinely very interested where the story is going to take place and go off with those two, because of course I'm 100% interested in what Sanji's going to do from now on, but I'm also really interested in seeing what Yamato's going to do from now on, because she has Momonosuke, and based on where the character arc can go from here, and I really want to see Yamato in action somewhere, especially against another formidable fighter, because her fighting style is really dope. I mean, it's just like Kaido, bro. Like, come on, dude. I'd love to see some more Thunder Baguas going up all over the place, more club hitting action and whatnot, and so I would really love to see the extent of her fighting capabilities and whatnot, and what better way than by fighting either one of the Calamities or one of the Tobiroppo, right? But to me, one of the Calamities, you know, at this point, it's got to be one of the Calamities. Either that, or that's just the thing, like, whenever I think about any one of the other enemies that you could possibly face, I can't think of one, unless she manages to go up to the roof, which I don't see that happening at this point in time. And so, based on where things are probably going to go from here, it would allow Momonosuke an opportunity to be able to meet up with Kinemon and the others up there. And let's just say, based if it is Hiyori or if it is Toki up there in that room as Silhouette, being able to meet Momonosuke, you know what I mean? Like, so these are very important things that could be solved just by having Yamato shift over toward the Battle of the Calamities. But we'll see. All right, I suppose we'll see and find out where things go from there. But regardless, I'm excited. Regardless of whether it's just the comedic interaction between Sanji and Yamato, and then they go and split off and do their own two things, or Sanji takes Yamato with him onto an awesome tag team action. I don't know, but regardless, it's going to be a lot of fun, and it's going to be something that I'm going to be super hyped for anytime that we go back to it. I mean, especially after this week's chapter. And I guess that's a good transitioning point to talk about Marco. Yo, in this week's chapter of One Piece, man, you know, within the 1000s, I've gotten to see a lot of things that I never thought I would actually be able to see. Because whenever you're reading the series for as long as it is, right, regardless of whether you're an individual that just recently caught up, or you're an individual that has been caught up for a long time, because of the nature of the story and because of how long it is, it feels like you've been on with these individuals for a very, very long time. And so by the time you get to this moment, it's just unbelievable to me that all these things are taking place. And then I think back to Marineford, and the thing that makes Marineford so special to me and continues to make it so special for me is not only the character interactions that takes place between the characters, but how the characters and their dynamics and the way they play off of each other and the way their abilities play off each other, whether it's on the same team or whether or they're taking each other on. And one particular dynamic I really loved after watching it in the anime was the dynamic between Kizaru and Marco, right? Because it was just, this is a Yonko commander, the second in command under Whitebeard, taking on an admiral. And that's why I found the Ben Beckman moment at the end of the arc super cool as well, because I'm like, man, these Yonko commanders are out here, having one-on-one conversations with admirals, and admirals are putting some respect in their name, and it just got me super excited for the future of the series. And up until that point, you got to see the greatness of Rayleigh. So you were like, these individuals who are in the top tier of the verse, their second in commands are nasty. Their second in commands are nasty. We're talking super, super nasty. And of course, we've gotten to see that post time skip with Katakuri, and we're seeing it right now with King. But to see Marco holding his own against two of them, it throws everything into an array to where you're like, Marco back in Marineford was a true threat. A true threat, man, because the dude is not only extremely powerful, but his regeneration capabilities are insane. He's fighting King and Queen while simultaneously healing the individuals that are on the floor right now. It's like, how much energy does this man have? It's like, Marco greatness. Seriously, Marco greatness. And it makes me want to go back and next break, I'm going to go back and reread Marineford for the billionth time. Because this Marco action is hidden. It really is, dude. Not only does it give me massive Marineford vibes, this entire arc has, but just seeing him in action, utilizing these awesome techniques, that blue bird technique with him shooting the Rasengan, it goes around in his finger, goes in Hadouken, just nasty. And the Phoenix brand with him coming in and spearing Queen, dude, that whole junk was sick. And so when you're seeing all these different maneuvers, when you're seeing the way that he utilizes his fruit to the way that he does, he lives up to the name of being a commander under Whitebeard. And Whitebeard, at one point in time in the verse, still people recognize him as being one of the greatest ever, you know what I'm saying? But at one point in time, he was the strongest individual that was alive. You know what I mean? Like, this dude, whenever it was him and it was Roger. And then after Roger passed and the time went away and the new Yonkos took over, they recognized that in terms of physical strength and of being that dude, even whenever he was sick, he was recognized as being the strongest human alive, man. As the strongest person in the world with the most destructive capability. And it's like, whenever you have an individual like that who can cause so much destruction, what about his right-hand man? Because his right-hand man has got to be just as nasty. And so now I love this so much because after the whole payback war thing, and I'm a Blackbeard tard, right? I'm a massive Blackbeard tard. I'm Zehahaha to everything. That's my boy. Y'all know. Any chapter with Blackbeard, 40 out of 10. Just like the same thing with Shanks and Roger. But it's like, and Whitebeard, right? It's like the GOATs. But in Blackbeard's case, after the payback war, and we got to see those moments in the manga, it made us question, like, there had to have been something, because at the time, right now, after witnessing what I just witnessed, now I'm thinking more about that, because I saw a comment that was talking about that, about how much hype does this put on Blackbeard, that Blackbeard and his crew were able to take on the Whitebeard commanders and pwned them. And now knowing Blackbeard, there obviously had to have been some underhanded tactics going on there. He must have cashed in Money in the Bank, got them off guard, and still continued to go in, right? But the thing is, when it comes to Whitebeard's commanders, even if they are caught off guard, I strongly believe that those individuals, I'm talking Marco, Jozu, Vista, these individuals are beasts, and so even if they were to be caught off guard, they wouldn't be caught off guard for long and they would still go in. And so with that being said, it must have taken so much to take out Marco, bro. Like, it must have taken so much to take this man down. And the fact that it was done, the fact that they were able to wipe them out in the way that they were, because now that we really get to see what this man is doing against two of Kaido's top tiers, it's to me, like I said, even if there were underhanded tactics involved, because of how strong and smart the Whitebeard commanders are, it kind of, to me, just doesn't even matter. Like, just the fact that they were able to take them out puts extreme hype to me on the Blackbeard Pirates. It just puts respect in their name after this chat. It really does. Even more than there already was. And it's like, yo, because Marco within this chapter, to me at least, I mean, I knew that he was that dude. I've always known that he was that dude. But just to see him take on two individuals, it just hits different. You know what I mean? It's one thing. It's even, to me, like, let's just say, if he would have bodied King, a hypothetical scenario, he bodies King to the point where he forced him to hybrid form. Even that, I would have been like, it's Marco. But for him to just be ponying both King and Queen, that to me is a statement. That is a statement like, yo, these dudes are on another level, man. Like, there are tiers to this, son. There is like, yo, this man Marco might be in the extreme upper echelon of the pirates in this world, bro. Like, dude is a monster. He is a beast. And you just love to see it. You love to see it because, of course, Marco's already, awesome character design, awesome fruit. But to have him go up in like swimwear and have Oda put respect on his name in the way that he did in this chapter, it's just, you want to see these moves in video games. You really do. These types of moves you want to see in Treasure Cruise or in Pirate Warriors or whatever the case may be. And it was just super dope to see all of those amazing action sequences, happening back to back to back. And the way that Marco's personality was coming off, like, yo, man, what you mean? Like, yo, let's go. Let's throw it down. Like, you want it? And King and Queen continued to come after him. He was like, all right, man. I mean, yeah, if y'all want to keep coming at me, I just have to go in. You know what I mean? Because, Queen continued to try to interfere in Hyogoro and X-Drake's battle, and this man Marco was having none of that. And any time that one of them would attempt to, catch Marco off guard, none of that, man. He was going in. And I guess that leads me into Perospero. I don't know what's going to happen with Perospero. I have no idea. One thing I can't say about Perospero in this chapter, I don't know if I touched upon it a lot within the chapter reaction, but man, the incredible dialogue that was coming out of my man's tongue, bro, out of that long Perorine tongue of his. I mean, my man was spitting. He was spitting bars. And the thing is, when you have somebody spitting bars, but he's doing it to Carrot, it hits different because you have this extreme heel-like character. You have this character that, of course, we know how much of a threat he could be, thanks to Whole Cake Island, but seeing it here firsthand and knowing, and him rightfully saying to us as the audience that had Carrot and Wanda, or had the weather not been in his favor, things could have gone horribly wrong and he possibly could have lost. But he tells that to Carrot, and whenever he tells that to Carrot, like whenever I went back and read the chapter and I thought about it a little bit more, I was like, yo, that's extremely fire. The man knows, he knows that had the moon continued to be not covered by the clouds and had the weather not interfered, he probably would have lost. But the fact that luck was in his favor, the fact that things were moving as smoothly as they were going, in terms of allowing him to catch this W, he's more than happy with. So happy, in fact, that he then started talking about the territories of the emperors and how, yo, listen, I don't like these individuals. I'm gonna let you know right now. But these upstarts, y'all, we're gonna tell y'all, we're gonna show y'all what it means to step on an emperor's territory. Because now you've not done it just once, you've done it twice, and this time there's two of them here. And we're gonna show you what happens whenever you come in here unprepared for the situations that that are unpreparable for. You know what I mean? Like the situations, like for example, the moon being covered and the Sulong state not having the effect that it normally would. And so Perospito's like, listen, man, if y'all were really about it, that wouldn't have mattered. So the fact that y'all lost means it's on y'all. You should have been more prepared. You should have been more prepared. And I loved it because it was so heelish. It was so just in your face, so like, man, this guy's a sicko. But it was great. It was great dialogue, just a great moment from Perospito to just make you want to see him get punched in the face by Marco later on, or by whoever's going to do it. I saw comments saying there could be Chopper that's going to go up and like somewhere against Perospito. I'll take it. You know what I mean? If it's Chopper versus Perospito, bro, and Chopper goes in against them, man, hey, I'll take it, dude. In order to take on Carrot. But at this point, I really want Carrot, you know, if Chopper doesn't end up doing like the comment said, I would love for Carrot to come back from being defeated there, regardless of, I don't know how it happens. I don't know if it's Marco, you know, helping out and helping regenerate, if it's Chopper, you know, healing your wounds, whatever the case may be. For Carrot to come back, I don't know if at some point in time, because I think at some point in time, the roof is going to have to come off that place. You know what I mean? Like, after all the hybrid form battles are done and all that stuff, a section of that roof is going to come off. Whenever you have hybrid form Kaido taking on those legends up there and Big Mom and they're causing all that ruckus, that roof is going to start crumbling even more than it already is. And so a massive section of that roof is going to be exposed to the moonlight. And at some point in time, Carrot's going to have to come inside. And you might have a situation where Carrot is taking on Perospito once again, and this time actually being able to surpass him for Pedro. And that would be an extremely awesome moment if it were to take place. Now, I'm not sure if it's going to happen, because at this point, we still have yet to see what's going to happen with Jack. And Jack also, in the same way as Perospito, also has the Minx with the grudge against them. And he specifically, the other chapter, was talking about the thing with Raizo and Nekomushi and Inarashi. And so, regardless of whether they come back into the fray in order to continue to take him on or whatever the case may be. But for right now, you know, we'll leave that to just what I was saying earlier, the possibility of the tag team battle, whether 3v2 or 3v3. But for Perospito and Carrot, if that does end up coming into fruition again, that would be really exciting. But I'm really, really curious on what's going to happen now with Perospito, because it looks like he wants to interfere sooner rather than later and take care of Marco while he's, you know, going in against King and Queen. And so if he does interfere and does some extremely underhanded stuff here, alongside with King and Queen going into hybrid form, so now it's Perospito with an underhanded move and a King and Queen hybrid form, Sanji's got to go in there. Yo, my boy, that's got to be when Sanji shows up, man. Whether it's with Yamato or not, that's when Sanji's going to show up and be like, yo, it's time, man. Let's take care of the business, Marco. But yeah, man, a lot of awesome possibilities when it comes to that side of things as well. And just something I'm super excited for. And then for the end of the chapter, man, I mean, just, you know, now I know why this chapter was titled Hyogoro the Flower. I'm in like two different mindsets here when it comes to Hyogoro and in this chapter. Because regardless, to me, it was absolutely amazing, and I loved it just because of who he is. The fact that he's a Yakuza boss, and he went through this journey of losing legit hope after Odin's death, going out and just living his last days in that prison, never knowing when things were going to take place, not having, you know, a reason to truly live anymore, man. I mean, dude was just, he was retired, he was gone, he had nobody with him. It was just, it was wasting the end of his days. And so for Luffy to come in here and really inspire him in the way that he did, to take up his arms and fight once again for the country that he loved and for the individuals that make the country that he loved, you know, and for their future and for the new dawn. It's like, it's so beautiful coming from a Yakuza boss that we know there's a code of honor within the Yakuza, man. You know, there is, at least within the Yakuza movies I've watched, and then within, of course, the Yakuza game. There is a code of honor there, man. And there is the aspect of dying an honorable death. And so, if this man were to die an honorable death right now, I don't know if it's going to take place at the blade coming down. Just based on the way the chapter ended, if Hyodo does die, I don't think it's going to be by that blade. It'll have to be by something else. But I highly doubt, just based on the way that blade came down and how Hyodo was bracing for it, I don't think it'll be that blade that kills him. If something's going to kill him, it's going to be something else. But what I love so much about this speech is that regardless of whether Hyodo dies or whether he lives, you know, whether Chopper is able to cure him and save him in an extremely amazing moment, which I would 100% be down for, which Chopper, man, let's go, bro. Let's create this wonderful cure for what's taking place here so that the tides can turn in our favor. And then once we get that cure out and Tama and Usopp and Nami come in and Tama's able to utilize, well, Tama and Usopp, and being able to utilize the flipping flaggers, the Kibidongo, in order to, you know, put it in and bring them over to their side, as Speed doing it as well. I mean, once they get that cure going, things are going to be moving. And so that cure is going to be something that's going to start pushing things ahead in our favor. But I am extremely curious. I'm going to assume maybe X-Drake is the one that saves Hyogo from this blade. And then, like I said, I don't know if something else will happen to where Hyogo will die to it, or if Hyogo turns into the Oni. And then while in the Oni state, either one of his individuals have to kill him, or Chopper saves him as an Oni. At this point, I think it's going to end up being one of those two things. But this chapter served as a wonderful speeches that really put into perspective the impact that we had by arriving on Wano, on one person's life, to where they were able to rekindle that passion, that flame that was once there, to be able to go in and, you know, get his old abilities back, even though now he may be old and may not be in his prime anymore. He's going in. And so for him to deliver that epic speech there really does showcase that his will to live at this point in time is surpassing whatever limits he has in his body. And stuff like that has always had me hyped in storytelling, but especially in One Piece, because old dudes in One Piece are goats. And so for Hyogo to be doing this in the manner that it's being done, it's just super dope, man. And I really hope that he's able to make it out of here. But if this is his final moment, if this is where he's going to pass and die, man, then what an amazing character. You know, what an awesome supporting character for Wano that we were able to get attached to, that served as a mentor for Luffy, you know, calling him his protege and whatnot, in order to teach him Ryo Haki. But if he doesn't, and this serves as an opportunity for Chopper to be able to flex his doctoring, as the 4Kids dub stated, for to be able to save Hyogoro here, and Chopper delivers, and he has his epic moment thanks to this epic moment from Hyogoro, and you have epic moment leading to epic moment, I'd be down for that as well, man. And so, just overall, this week's chapter was a chapter that just opened up the doors of so many awesome possibilities to take place for so many different characters. And I think that's why I enjoyed it so much, because it's a chapter to me that I can, like, already, so many things I can think of where we could take it from here. And it was a chapter that I'm glad took place right after we got off, like, from a break, right? So, like, we got 1005, now we got this one, and then usually based on the way that Oda's usual schedule works, we'll have either one more and then break, or two more and then break. But like I was saying in the reaction, because I don't know how much longer we have left until the end of Act 3, I really needed a chapter like this, just in case next chapter we go into another 1v1. Let's just say it's Who's Who versus Jinbei, or Sasaki versus Frankie. Thanks to this chapter, we're going to have a really good idea of where things are going to be flowing, even if we don't see Yamato for a couple chapters, or Sanji for a couple chapters, or Marco and King and Queen for a couple chapters. Just because of this chapter, we're going to be like, okay, we understand what that things are flowing in the way that they should flow. Everything's, you know, the momentum is pushing forward in every single part. And that's what I really liked about this chapter, because now if Oda were to go on a spree of showing us just Who's Who, Jinbei, 1 chapter. Frankie Sasaki, 1 chapter. Page 1, Ulti, Usopp, and Nami, 1 chapter. We could have these string of chapters and still have the momentum going on outside because he pushed everyone in certain directions, right? And I think that's why I really enjoyed this one. Because it's one that even if he doesn't come back to it for a while, we could still think about certain possibilities that could take place. And then after those battles continue to heat up, and then they go into their hybrid forms, because I'm going to assume either we're going to get a chapter where everybody goes into their hybrid forms at the same time, or everybody's going to go into their hybrid forms and like separate in different sections, which either way is going to be crazy. Because can you imagine just 1 chapter of straight hybrid forms? And then the end of the chapter is Kaido's hybrid form, and then right at the end it says end of Wano Act 3. It would be nuts. It would be absolutely crazy. But that would be an insane chapter. Just straight hybrid forms every single page, and then final page Kaido's hybrid form end chapter. That would be crazy. But instead he wants to go about the route of showing everybody's fights and then how it leads to those hybrid forms. And then we get like individual chapters given to each individual hybrid form in order to have more focus and more time to really gel with each individual hybrid form. I'd be cool with that as well. But it depends on how he wants to take it and how he wants to pace this arc, man. But regardless, I'm here for it, and I'm super excited, man, because Onigashima, it just continues to, every single week I come in here and I come out just more impressed as a fan of this arc. It's so good, bro. It's so good, and I can't wait for the anime to get to this section of the series, because just knowing how they've been handling the battles, like, can you imagine whenever they get to the Marco versus King and Queen stuff? That stuff is gonna be nuts. It's gonna be so goated in the anime. But yeah, man, hope it is an awesome sauce of a day. Take care. This has been the Afterthoughts. Really enjoyed talking about this one. Shout out to that color spread again, man. It was so good. But yeah, this the MVP of this chapter for sure, my boy Marco and Hyogoro, with their really nice moments there. Hyogoro from an emotional and from just a perseverance and a will standpoint. Like, he still has the will of the thanks to Luffy, he found that passion for life once more, to lead the next generation into the new dawn, into new age, which is what a lot of this saga has been about so far. And of course Marco with the straight up hype on that end as well, man. But can't wait for some more, man. It's gonna be really exciting. One Piece greatness, as it always delivers. But yeah, man, I hope everybody's an awesome day. Take care. Let me know what y'all think about everything stated in the Afterthoughts, or whatever you want to add on from the reaction that I touched upon here. I would love to hear about it in the comments down below, man. But until then, y'all have a blessed one. Peace out. One Piece greatness, dude.